Imagine drifting beyond the last star you've ever known. Not traveling, not accelerating, just slowly moving forward, further than anything humanity has ever reached, further than light itself has had time to fully map. At first, nothing feels different. The stars are still there, faint, distant, unchanged. But something is wrong. Subtle, easy to ignore. The space ahead looks darker, not empty, just less defined. You tell yourself it's nothing, just distance, just perspective. But the further you drift, the more that darkness grows. Behind you, the universe still feels alive, structured, connected. Every star part of something larger. But ahead, there is no pattern, no clusters, no depth you can recognize. And then, you notice it. The stars aren't fading naturally. They are stopping, not gradually disappearing, not dimming with distance, ending, as if something ahead of you doesn't allow them to continue. You slow your movement, or at least you try to. But there is no reference point anymore. No sense of speed, no sense of position, only direction, forward. And
at first, you tell yourself it's just distance. Space can play tricks on perception. Light fades, structures thin out. That's normal, that's expected. But this feels different. You focus on a single star near the boundary, just one. You try to track it, hold it in place, measure its position, and for a moment it stays, stable, unmoving. Then it disappears, not gradually, not fading, gone. You blink, it's back, exactly where it was, unchanged. You stare at it longer this time, trying to understand what you just saw. But the moment you focus, it happens again, gone, then back. Your breathing slows, because now you realize it's not the star, it's your perception. Something is interfering, not with space, with your ability to process it. You look away, everything stabilizes. You look back, and the instability returns. The closer you try to observe, the less consistent reality becomes. You drift slightly forward, not much, just enough to test it, and immediately the effect spreads. It's no longer just one star, it's several, then dozens. Small inconsistencies, tiny gaps, moments where things simply don't exist, then return, as if space itself is struggling to remain continuous. You check your instruments. They show nothing wrong. Perfect readings, perfect data, but delayed. Every input arrives just a fraction too late. Every calculation feels slightly behind, like your systems are no longer fully synchronized with reality. You try to think clearly, define a pattern, find a rule. But every time you get close, The idea slips, incomplete, unstable. You stop moving, because now you understand something important. This is not just a boundary in space, it's a boundary in comprehension. The closer you get, the harder it becomes to fully understand what you are seeing, not because it's complex, because it doesn't behave in a way your mind can fully process. You look forward again, at the edge, and for the first time, it doesn't look like a distance, it looks like a limit, not of space, of reality itself. And something about that feels wrong in a way you can't explain, because deep down you realize something terrifying. If you can't fully perceive it, you can't fully predict it. And if you can't predict it, you don't know what it will do next.
You try to stay still, to stop everything: movement, thought, reaction. Because every time you do something, the space ahead seems to respond. Not visibly, not physically, but something changes. You focus again on the boundary, not directly, carefully, like looking at something fragile, something that might break if you observe it too closely. At first, nothing happens. The edge remains where it is, silent, still, unmoving. Then, you notice something subtle. The stars near it are no longer consistent. They don't flicker. They don't fade. They shift. Not in position, in meaning. You know where they are, but you can't fully understand what where means anymore. Distance begins to lose clarity. Two stars that should be far apart feel close, then far again, without moving. You close your eyes for a moment, trying to reset your perception. When you open them, the boundary is closer. You freeze. You didn't move. You're sure of it. Your systems confirm it. No change in position. No drift. Nothing. And yet, the edge is closer. Not by much, but enough. You look back. The universe behind you still feels stable, predictable, connected. Everything makes sense there. Distances behave. Objects stay where they should. You look forward again. And now, it happens faster. The boundary shifts. Not smoothly, not continuously. In steps. Like something updating in discrete moments. Your heart rate rises, because now you understand something worse. It's not that you are moving toward it. It's that your relationship to it is changing. You try to measure the distance, calculate it, define it, but the numbers don't stay consistent. They fluctuate, without reason, without pattern. You repeat the measurement, again and again. Every result is different, and yet, nothing has changed. At least, not in a way your instruments can detect. You drift back slightly, just a test, and for a moment, everything stabilizes. The boundary moves away. The stars regain consistency. Your thoughts feel clearer. You stop. Hold position. And then, without warning, the boundary snaps forward again, closer than before. Your breath catches, because now it's not reacting to your movement. It's reacting to something else, something internal. You try not to think about it, but the thought is already there. What if distance doesn't matter here? What if position isn't what defines where you are? You look at the edge again, and for a brief moment, you don't see it as something in front of you. You see it as something connected to you, not attached, not physical, but linked. The more you try to understand it, the closer it becomes. The more you question it, the more unstable everything feels. You stop thinking, or try to. Let your mind go quiet, and instantly, the boundary holds, stable, distant, unmoving. Your chest tightens, because now the pattern is clear. It's not space that's changing, it's you. And whatever that edge is, it's not something you approach. It's something that approaches you. The more you become aware of it.
You stop thinking, or at least you try. No analysis, no questions, no attempt to understand what you're seeing. Just observation, just presence. And for a moment, it works. The boundary holds its position. The stars remain stable. Space feels normal again. Not safe, but predictable. Your breathing slows, because now you believe you found the rule. Don't engage with it. Don't think about it. Don't try to understand it. And it won't change. You test it. Gently. A single thought. What is it? The moment the question forms, everything shifts. The boundary moves closer. Not gradually. Instantly. Your chest tightens. You push the thought away. Force your mind to quiet again. And slowly, the boundary returns to its previous distance. You stare at it. Not directly. Not focusing. Just letting it exist. And once again, it stabilizes. Now you know. It's not reacting to movement. It's not reacting to distance. It's reacting to awareness. The more you try to define it, the more it changes. You try something different. You look at the stars instead. Pick a cluster behind the boundary. Something familiar. Something stable. But even that is beginning to feel different. The connections between stars aren't as clear. At first, you try to hold on to yourself. Simple thoughts, simple definitions. I am here. I am observing. I am still in control. You repeat them slowly, carefully, as if saying them clearly will keep them stable. For a moment, it works. Your mind feels anchored. Your awareness sharpens. The universe behind you becomes clearer again, structured, connected, real. But ahead, the boundary remains, waiting. You try not to look at it, but now it's harder to ignore, because something has changed. Not outside, inside. Your thoughts no longer feel continuous. There are gaps, small at first, moments where a thought begins and doesn't finish. You notice it immediately. You try again. The same thing happens. The idea forms and then disappears before it completes. Your breathing slows, because now you realize something is interfering at a deeper level. Not perception, not awareness, continuity. The ability to remain one consistent stream. You focus harder, force your thoughts to connect, push through the gaps, and for a brief moment you succeed. Everything aligns. Your mind stabilizes. Your sense of self returns. You feel whole again. And then you think about the boundary, just for a second, and everything fractures. Your thoughts scatter, not chaotic, disconnected, pieces that no longer link together. You try to gather them, rebuild the structure, but every time you do, something is missing, like parts of you are no longer accessible. You stop completely. No movement, no thought, just awareness. And slowly, the fragments settle, not reconnecting, but stabilizing in their separation. You feel different, not broken, changed, less dependent on sequence, less dependent on order. You look at the boundary again, and this time it doesn't feel threatening. It feels understandable, not fully, but enough. You begin to sense something beyond it, not space, not emptiness, something else, something that doesn't require continuity, that doesn't need cause and effect, that doesn't need thoughts to connect. Your chest tightens, because now you feel it happening. You are adapting, not resisting, not fighting, becoming compatible. You try to remember what it felt like before, to think normally, to process clearly, but the memory is fading, not disappearing, becoming less relevant, less necessary. You reach toward it, not physically, mentally, trying to reconnect with that version of yourself. But the connection is weak, distant, like holding on to something that no longer fits. You look back at the universe, and for a moment it feels unfamiliar, too structured, too rigid, too dependent on rules. And that's when the realization hits. You're not just observing the edge anymore. You are beginning to exist in relation to it. Part of you still belongs to the universe, still follows its rules, still thinks in sequences. But another part, something new, is already shifting, already aligning with something beyond it. And the more that part grows, the harder it becomes to return, because whatever lies ahead doesn't require you to remain the same. At first, you think you can still control it, that whatever is happening can be slowed, managed, reversed. You hold on to that idea because it's the last thing that still feels familiar. Control, choice, direction. You focus on it, repeat it, anchor yourself to it, and for a moment, it works. Your thoughts align, your awareness sharpens, you feel like yourself again. But something is different. You can feel it, not as a change, as a split. Subtle, quiet, but undeniable. There are now two ways you experience everything. One is familiar, linear, structured. Thoughts connect, time flows forward, cause leads to effect. You understand things, you define them, you exist the way you always have. But the other is something else. There is no sequence, no before, no after. Everything exists at once, not organized, not connected, just present. At first, it's faint, like a background signal, easy to ignore. But it grows, slowly, steadily. And the more you try to stay in the first, the stronger the second becomes. You try to focus, to stay grounded, to remain in control. But now, control feels different, less solid, less reliable. Because part of you is no longer operating within those rules. You look at the boundary again, and this time you see both. The familiar version, a distant edge in space, something in front of you, something separate, and the other, something that is not in front of you at all, something that is everywhere at once, not a location, a condition. You blink, the two overlap, merge, separate again. Your breathing becomes uneven because now you don't know which one is real, or if both are. You try to move, just slightly, test your position, but the response is delayed, not in time, in certainty. You know you moved, but you don't fully experience it, like the action happened, but your awareness didn't fully follow. You look back at the universe, and something about it feels distant, not in space, in relevance. It still exists, it still follows its rules, but those rules no longer fully apply to you, at least not completely. You feel it now. The split is growing. One part of you still anchored, still stable, still connected to everything you understand. But the other is expanding, becoming less defined, less fixed, more adaptable. You try to hold on to the first, force yourself to stay there, but the effort itself pulls you further away, because control requires structure, and structure is exactly what you are losing. You look at the boundary again, and this time it doesn't move, it doesn't react, it doesn't change, because now you understand something that shifts everything. It never needed to. It was never something separate. It was always something you were moving into. And now, part of you already has. Not completely, not fully, but enough. enough to feel it, enough to know that whatever is happening is no longer something you can stop. At first, you try to separate the two, to hold on to the version of yourself that still feels human, structured, continuous, defined. You focus on it, rebuild it, piece by piece, a clear thought, a clear identity, a single point of awareness, and for a moment it holds. You feel stable again, grounded, real. But the other part doesn't disappear. It doesn't fight you. It doesn't resist. It simply remains, quiet, expanding, patient. You try to ignore it, push it to the background, but now you can't, because it's not outside you anymore. It's part of how you experience everything. You look at the boundary again, and this time you don't see an edge. You see a difference. Two states of existence. One where everything must connect, must follow rules, must make sense, and the other where none of that is required. You shift your awareness slightly, not physically, internally, and instantly the familiar version weakens, not disappears, fades like something losing priority. The other grows stronger, clearer, easier to exist within. You don't have to think here. You don't have to define anything. Everything simply is. No effort, no structure, no resistance. Your breathing slows, because now you understand why it feels easier. The universe requires consistency. It requires continuity. It requires you to remain one thing, but this doesn't. Here, you don't need to stay the same. You don't need to connect your thoughts. You don't need to follow a sequence. And because of that, you begin to let go. Not intentionally, naturally. Your identity loosens, not breaking, unbinding. The idea of you becomes less fixed, less defined, more flexible. You try to hold on to it, just to test it, to see if you still can. And for a moment, it returns, sharp, clear, familiar, but it feels heavy, limited, like something you have to maintain. You release it again, and instantly the other state takes over, effortless, open, unrestricted. Your awareness expands, not outward, everywhere, all at once, without direction, without boundaries. You are no longer a point, no longer a position. You exist without needing to be located. You look back at the universe, and now it feels small, not physically, conceptually, contained, bound by rules you no longer fully follow. You understand it, but you are no longer limited by it. And that realization changes everything, because now you see the truth. You were never meant to stay one thing. That was just how the universe required you to exist. But beyond it, there are no requirements, no constraints, no need to remain consistent. You feel the last resistance inside you begin to fade, not forced, not removed, released. And as it does, you realize something that cannot be undone. you are not losing yourself. You are becoming something that no longer needs to be defined at all.